What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bay Rats Buoys. I'm your host, Captain Gaige. This is episode 19. And like I say every week, I am super excited to be back. I love being on the podcast every week. And I can't believe we're 54 days away from opening day for striped bass and just 9 days away from the Ward Melville High School Fishing Club Expo and Fundraiser going down on Saturday, March 1st. Super excited to be there. We are going to be at booth number 35 in the gymnasium. I'm not sure how much podcasting we're going to be able to do in the gymnasium. I know there's noise and whatnot. We had no problem at the boat show. But we're in a 6-foot booth. It's a 6x6. So space-wise, we're going to have it set up. We're going to be there set up with our flags and our table and our camera and whatnot and see if we can do it. If we can, perfect. If we're going to be there just meeting and greeting and having the camera out with the microphones there, we don't care either. We're going to be happy to schedule some of the bigger names that are there to get them here in the studio just for quality purposes. And this way the show, maintains a certain quality. I did start it on the boat. But again, there were even days that I was down there, it was blowing 18 miles an hour, and I was still able to do the podcast on the boat, being able to position myself so that the wind was at my back. The pop filter, the microphone is gated, all of that stuff, a little technical lingo. But, the quality matters for sure, and I care about that. So, like I said, we got new gear, new cameras. We're in the middle of building a second studio. So this studio here is awesome, and I love it. And this is where I come to record my radio shows every week. And then before I leave, I jump on my podcast and I get my podcast done. And we're going to be excited to invite you guys even into this studio here before the new studio is built. A lot of great things happening, guys. Super excited. I can't believe we're going to be out there fishing and, 54 days. And I'll be out there before that. That's just opening day. So usually I'm out probably around the first week in April. I want to say it's every year between the 1st of April and April 7th. It's one of those days in the first week of April that I'm launching the boat and bringing it into the slip and getting ready for the season, gearing up. All that fun stuff, running around, making sure everything runs right. You got to bring it to the mechanic. Actually, the mechanic does come to me and get some stuff done as soon as that weather warms up at the end of March. So, got to say thank you to everybody on Facebook for all the happy birthdays and the messages. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Made for a special day, but I got a great family and a crew and fishing buddies. I love you guys, and awesome time, and I appreciate the comments. I really do. So, speaking of appreciation, I got to say I appreciate all the Facebook groups that I'm in and all the admins for helping me share and get the podcast out in the fashion that we do. You guys are awesome. The YouTube channel is there, guys. I said by the time I get to the Ward Melville show, we'll hit that organic 3K followers on YouTube, which was great. And that viral video is up to 681,000 views. So I'm going to say now and, throw a little prediction out there that video by the summertime definitely has 1 million views. And, when you have a video that goes viral, like I said in a lot of episodes, you don't shoot or make videos to go viral, but when one goes viral and you get to watch it go, it's a lot of fun. It is. The comments are great. There's 25,000 likes on it and a ton of comments that are not worth reading. I mean, they're hysterical, but that's the internet, and you got to love that. So when people write nice things like Frank, you're the first one every week to watch the Bay Rats and Buoys podcast, and you were the first one to comment on YouTube wishing me a happy birthday, and I greatly appreciate it. And what's cool is I get to see all of that on the back end in the analytics, guys, because I run all the websites. I do all of that stuff, guys. I'm a partner at ISM Marketing, and that's something else I'm going to bring out here in the podcast. I can mention to you now, ISM Idea Stream Marketing is the name of the company. At the bottom of my website in the footer, there's a link to the website there, because the website for Sand City Charter is really, us just making that's a basic website. That's nothing crazy. If you look at the work that we do, you'll see the high-end work and the clientele that we deal with. But last year we launched a project called Networking on the Water, and this year we're really going to expand on it. I was very busy with charters last year and commercial towing, so I had a very, very busy schedule, 7 days a week on the water, and it was nice when we had blowing 30 miles an hour one day and it's windy because I actually had a day off. But it was Mother Nature that forces my days off, and I really can't complain about that. I really can't, because we do have a limited season from April into mid-April to mid-November, and you're lucky to get out there at all during May. You're lucky to get 2 weeks of fishing in May, period. And I wish that we had a 12-month season here, but we don't. It's 7 months. And there's nothing we can do about it. So when I have 7 days a week that I'm working on the water, when I have a day off, yeah, the kids are happy, I'm happy. It's a great time to go do something different and change it up a little bit. And I just can't wait to get back out there. These couple of months off. Yeah, I love going to the shows. I love being in the studio. I love podcasting. I love doing all the ISM stuff that we do. We're doing other podcasts, guys. I do stuff on the business end, which we will bring up in a bunch of episodes here to cross-market and cross-connect with the Bay Rats and Buoys fans and the people that are listening and all the listeners. And I do say fans because, guys, we have some awesome guys out there. We're going to have this year, for sure, a small Bay Rats and Buoys tournament in my area, and we're going to limit it to like 20 boats. We're not going to make this a big, crazy, big to-do like the WIC tournament. This is just going to be a small, private little tournament that we're going to do because we've already spoken about it within groups, and everybody's like, yeah, we're in. 100%, we're doing it. I just got to pick the date and organize it, which I will do. And we're super busy right now with a lot of organizing of what's happening on future episodes and future dates and who we're doing stuff with and sponsors that are coming on board and things like that. So it's really grown to a whole new level. So, Frank, being able to see the analytics and seeing who watches it, where they watch it, who's commenting, the demographics, the countries that it's in, and how it's grown. And I got to say, shout out to Brooklyn. There's a big Bay Rats and Buoys fan club in Brooklyn, and that's really cool to see online. It really is. And I got to say, the Facebook groups, you guys are awesome. So shout out to the admins. Again, I appreciate all those, happy birthday comments and all that stuff. There was definitely something up with my Facebook page, my personal page, Gaige, Gaige, Simon, which you see me post in the Facebook group. So a lot of people see the video there. And for a while, I'm going to say I want to say almost a year, 6 months to a year, that there was a goose egg on people following and getting friend requests. And something popped, something changed, and it might have even been, the 200 comments on my birthday that changed the algorithm for Facebook. But whatever it did, it worked. Now I'm getting 10, 15 a day, which was normal. I almost felt like I was shut off by Facebook. So I was never upset with the growth of it because it was my personal channel where I posted, pictures of my kids playing ice hockey and on the rink with them and me out there playing ice hockey and skating and doing all the stuff that we do when we're not on the water. So it was kind of my personal page, but I really did convert the Gaige Simon page into the page where I do promote everything Sand City and Bay Rats and Buoys from. So if you guys want to hit me up and friend request, you could do that. We are going to launch after Memorial Day weekend, the first week of June. We're going to launch the ISM Networking on the Water, which I'll explain more in detail as we get closer to that. Guys that we're going to have on the show coming up. I know we're going to have, we're scheduling the DEC, so we're going to have the Department of Environmental Conservation coming on. Tony Maja said he's coming on. We got the East End Anglers, just scheduling it out with them for a weekend now to come into the studio. We're trying to match up a date back and forth with emails. And so there's a lot of exciting stuff happening. And we're going to get guys on the podcast that, bring something to the table so that You guys get to hear different perspectives from different captains, from different businesses, and from people that do different stuff in the maritime industry, which is really cool. This is a huge industry. So you got guys that are mechanics, you got guys that sell boats, you got brokers, you got guys that own and run marinas and, work at marinas. You don't realize how much work goes into the preseason stuff and at the end of a season to shut it down. And to get the floating docks out of the water and move everything. And we do that, with the towboats. We drag stuff around and we're pulling stuff. There's a lot of work at the end of the year. Especially guys like Nick at Volpi Marine, who I just cut up a little piece of my video from last week's episode where I gave him a shout out and thanked him for the buoys that he dropped off for Bay Rats and Buoys. So, life is all about who you know. And I preach that all the time. It really is. It's who you know. I reached out to Michael Dannon, who I worked for back in the 90s. I did entertainment on the boats that he owned, whether it was the gambling boat or the party boats that he did. And so some of these guys I go back, 30 years with in the business and in different businesses. So that's what's cool about who you know. Worked with a lot of guys in the restaurant industry and the promoters and the DJs and the entire entertainment industry. So just collaborating with everybody and bringing it all together. We're doing new podcasts even for ISM, which is super exciting. And I believe we're going to start this Tuesday. And when I launch that, I'm going to cross-promote it with Bay Rats and Buoys so you guys could see what's going on, how I tie in ISM and networking on the water and all the stuff that we're doing with Bay Rats and Buoys, ISM, and our different sponsors. So that's why I give shout-outs to guys like Nick at Volpi Marine. So if you guys are in the market for mooring or dock service in Northport Bay, Northport Harbor, Huntington Bay, or Huntington Harbor, shoot on over to volpimarine.com. That's VOLPI marine.com. Check out Nick if you need any of his services. I highly recommend. And when I highly recommend somebody, it's not because I owe them a favor or they gave me a cheap price and I'm trying to hook them up. When I recommend anybody to you, it's because I think they are one of the best at what they do. There are guys that do stuff for me that I would never recommend to you. I just wouldn't. Why? Because maybe they don't respond. They don't show up when they say they're going to show up. So I don't just recommend everybody. And that you're going to learn, from stuff that I do locally. I work with a lot of local businesses, but I work with a lot of the same local businesses and keep it all within my little network for a reason and for good reason. And, I love to promote local businesses and help people out. So I was happy to be able to make Nick a little segment from last week's video and share it to the entire Northport, Huntington area on Facebook. And, it helps. Yes, it helps. I own a marketing company. I kind of know what I'm doing as far as getting stuff out. And these are not paid ads. None of the stuff that I have done promoting Bay Rats and Buoys on YouTube or Facebook has been done through any paid advertisement. All of it is strictly organic, and I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of that because when I start to pump the money into it and do stuff, it's going to blow up tenfold. And I know that. It has no choice because we're really good at what we do as far as marketing and advertising this stuff. So if you guys need any help in that line of work, check out the footer at the bottom of the page and head on over to ISM, which is Idea Stream Marketing. It's at the bottom of sandcitycharter.com. And guys, that's a basic website. You go to sandcitycharter.com. I get a ton of compliments. People call me all the time. They're like, yo, bro, your website's awesome. I love it. Can you make me one for my company? And yeah, we do. But that's not, that's not a $15,000 website. It's not a $1,000 website, but it's a basic website. It's got, basic web pages and basic stuff. And if you look at our clients at ISM, we do a lot of high-end stuff for a lot of high-end companies. That's why networking on the water was a lot of fun to start last year. However, my scheduling between Sand City Charter and being a full-time commercial tow captain, I was on the water 7 days a week, so it was very, very busy. This year, I'm actually scheduling time. For one weekend that Bay Rats and Buoys is going to host a small local tournament for 20 boats, totally private invite, all that stuff. We're going to get, we've already spoken to the guys in the groups and, the text messages, and we already know who's basically in, and we have a few more people to invite, and we'll do it the first year. We're going to do it small. I like to start things small, just like the podcast. It starts small, and then we grow. And we do that because we all have a love for being on the water and fishing. And nobody loves competition more than me. The studio I'm in right now, the gentleman that I produce his radio show for was just sticking his head in the office because he wants me to go play basketball down the hallway with him, because we have golf, we have weightlifting, we have all kinds of real cool extracurricular activities that go on here in the office, in the building here. And I know he wants to challenge. I just beat him in a basketball. It's a mini hoop with a mini ball, but we play horse, and we change the name. It's not horse when we play. And I did just beat him, and I finished on a hook shot. So he was looking to take me down now before he leaves. And too bad for him, because I'm busy doing a podcast. But he knows I produce his radio shows all week and get it out to the radio stations on time. So if you guys are in the need for any type of production, feel free to reach out to me, whether it be on social media or via sandcitycharter.com. You could always go to sandcitycharter.com and fill out the form on the contact page, guys, and in the comments, just put a question. Doesn't matter. Just pick any of the charters or any of the things in the pull-down menu. But you could just reach out to me and hit me up for anything if you're having trouble getting me any other way. So we got the show coming up. Very excited. Can't wait to see everybody. We got the season starting in just 54 days. I got all my gear ready, guys. I think I'm gonna buy some fluorocarbon leader at the show. Another rod, another reel, couple of different trolling setups for different stuff. Changed it up a little bit this year. But as far as the light tackle is concerned, I'm going to pick up a rod at RH. I always get an RH custom rod every year at the Ward Melville show. He's in New Jersey. I just happen to love this skinny rod. Every time I hand it to somebody on my boat, they're like, wow. They love it. And I'm handing you a serious setup. It's a $200 rod with a $250 reel. You're on my charter boat, and I'm handing you a $450 setup. And Tom Bizzarro, it's one of the big jokes back and forth in my text messages. He was on a charter with me, and we lost one. We had a rod go over, and it was a black hole, acid wrapped, gone, bye. I forget what reel was on there, but again, it was a beautiful reel, and definitely an Avid. It was definitely my black Avid. So, I've lost, like I said, we've all lost stuff going over. I've lost drones, GoPros, rods, outrodders, all kinds of stuff, glasses, things fall over. This year, I'm diving in and getting it. I'm telling you right now. I'm hoping we don't lose, listen, you're going to hook up, but if you're trolling, you're going to snag something. You get a lobster pot, which we didn't get too many of last year. There really weren't too many of them out there. So, I got to say, in the area that we work, we don't do a lot of trolling. We'll start off looking for them on the troll so that if maybe we come across them, we could just stop and go back to where we hooked up because we know they're there and they're chewing. But a lot of times we'll start out just looking for them. Once we see them, we bring in we reel up the trolling rods and we drop down any of the jigs that we're using, whether it be flutter spoons or the nomads. I love the nomad vibes, and whether it be the squid or the bunker, or any of them that I showed you on previous episodes. But when I'm trolling, I love using Tony Mahjong stuff. I do. I've caught some of my biggest bass on the Mahjong spoon, and I'm excited to announce, we're going to have Tony on the show. He's coming on the podcast. We're going to have the DEC on the podcast. I mentioned we're going to have the East End Anglers on the podcast. They were on one of the last day, they were on one of the days at the Javits Center, and I just wasn't happy with the quality of the audio. I was able to fix it and make it sound, be good enough for anybody, but this is kind of what I do. So I really, I set a stand. I like the quality of the audio to be really, really good, which is the reason why I use a pop filter, and I'm a little closer to the mic than most people, so there's no echo. It depends on how you record and what you do. To each his own. And we're exciting. This Tuesday, we're going to be Idea Stream Marketing. We're going to be doing a new podcast series, totally new. So Bay Rats and Buoys has its competition, but it really doesn't because I'm hosting, and it's just another business podcast series that we will be launching and setting out this year. Super excited about that. That kicks off this Tuesday at Oheka Castle. So I'll keep you filled in as that grows and as that goes on. Stay tuned in for the first week of June when we launch ISM's Networking on the Water. I will post on Facebook, depending. Let me see what goes on with the 15 to 20 boats that we want to do a private little get-together, little tournament. And we're going to schedule it based on my captain's log when we know the bite is red hot. Because I got to tell you, in my area, that Wick tournament, it's the biggest bluefish tournament in the world, is how it's advertised. I got to say, between the weather and last year not being any bluefish in my area, where, I mean, if I caught a handful of blues all year, it's incredible. I'm going to enter it this year. I'm going to be in it. But it's hit or miss. And, as is any tournament. The guys did pretty good in the Manhattan Cup last year because the timing of that tournament in the first week of June, that's a great time of the year. The bite's red hot. It's on. If you can't catch striped bass in June, then, you probably shouldn't be striped bass fishing. And we start in April, and they're here. The seals are here right now, guys. And there's some pretty big ones in the bay. And my buddy Jacob, he's been out in the Peconic Bay. He's out there every day with his oyster farm, and I see the all iced. His equipment is all iced up out there. And kudos to him. He is out there 12 months of the year working in the Peconic Bay, and he's got an amazing operation. He was on episode 4 of Bay Rats and Buoys, and wow, I'm up to 29, and this is episode 19, only because I labeled the New York Boat Show as the New York Boat Show podcast series. I didn't want to include every one of those as one of my numbered episodes, like I was doing from the back of my boat and from in the studio, so I wanted that to be a little bit of a separate podcast series. Let's see how it goes at Ward Melville. And with the size and the space, because it's a 6x6 area. I mean, my table with my tablecloth is 6 feet, We're going to see. I don't know if the backdrop's even going to fit and how far the camera can be from where we are to actually shoot. I might have to do it with GoPros. As far as the audio is concerned, we'll get great audio whether there's noise in the gymnasium or not. I'm not worried about that. So we have that. The audio part we have figured out. That's easy. It's just a matter of how much room we have to shoot. So my game plan is to see everybody, meet everybody, hand out some stickers, get new subscribers, say what's up, do a meet and greet with me and Corey, my first mate. And maybe I'm using it to schedule some of the bigger names that are there to get them into the studio now that they know what I'm doing, what this is about, and how we're looking to expose more companies and expose your company, potentially. Just like some of the Facebook admins that reached out to me to jump on the show, because I said in last week's episode, if you're the admin of a Facebook group, there's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of people don't realize that. Any of the stuff that we do online, there's a lot of work. Social media, the commercial tow company. I woke up this morning, there were messages saying, "Hey, we're gonna be doing a lot of social media this year," and it's always great to hear. I love doing that stuff. As you can see, GoPros, drones, cameras, microphones. That's my forte. Love that stuff. Fishing. That's my passion, so I'm passionate about that, and can't wait to get out there. And hopefully you guys are going to join us. We did put out there this week and it goes until February 28th. So up until the Ward Melville show, we are offering. Sand City does it every year. We give away. It's $100 off for a 4-hour charter, and we do that in the wintertime now. For the clients that love to come out with us, guys book 2 trips at a time. You know, they know they're coming out with us. They want to do it in June. It's good for April, May, and June only. So if you want to book a charter now, you save $100. You go out for 4 hours. It's $500 instead of $600. I think I'm maxed out on the charters that I'm giving out for the season. I think I hit the number. I think we gave away 6 charters this year already in raffles and stuff, and for good causes. I have no problem doing that, but I can't give away 10, 15 charters a year. It's just not monetarily worth it to give away that much work. There's days that we're busy and we're doing 2 charters a day, where a lot of times we go out in the morning and then we come back and we're cleaning the boat, we're reloading, and we're going out for the afternoon or an evening. A lot of guys like that evening bite too, and I do as well. So even when I have a morning charter and me and Corey get out there, let's say we go out 7 to 11 or an 8 to 12, I can't tell you how many times we get back. We'll go sit down, we'll have a nice lunch, laugh about the charter we just had, and figure out what part of the tide cycle do we want to get back out on, and see where they are in the area, all based on what the wind is doing. And this is what helps me with my intel, with my captain's log, and I can't begin to tell you how many guys I'll see out there in the morning, and then I get back out there. I'm leaving to go back out, and they're coming in, and they're like, "Where you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going back out for round 2," and we'll go back out there even in the evening time, even if it's just for an hour, just to see if it turned on at a certain time of the tide and see what the bait is doing. And it's having your pulse on the your finger on the pulse of what's happening out there is, for me, it's key. Really is. And the intel, sharing it with the other captains and back and forth. So if you want to get involved in our network, there's no better way through social media than to reach out, say what's up, shoot me a friend request. You've been invited. I gave you the invite. Hit me up with a friend request on Facebook. It's finally working. It hasn't worked for a good 6 months, I could tell you. And I think all the comments and the messages I got for my birthday this past weekend opened up the algorithm and changed it, because now every time I open up Facebook, there's 5, 6 to 10 friend requests in there, and I do check them. I do look and make sure they're not fake profiles and people that haven't posted in 100 years. And it's been a lot of fishing guys, so I see that it's actually hitting the people that we wanted to in the Facebook groups, and we're getting the response that we're looking from the videos. We greatly appreciate the admins. Great job, guys. Let's keep it going. This winter is almost over. We are just 54 days away from opening day, and I say that because you could tell I'm excited. I'm tired of being indoors like the rest of you, and I'm definitely not tired of making videos. Can't wait to get out there and make some fun videos. Have been working on a lot of highlight reels from last year and the stuff. I just put one out. Try to keep them to 90 seconds. Just short clips showing you guys, hooking, netting, releasing, all the fun stuff that we do. We tag them. We tag a lot of fish. I don't even have to order tags this year. I have a ton of tags, so I need nothing. If the season was to start tomorrow, I just got to uncover the boat, de-winterize it, prep it, and splash down, and I'm out. We're ready. The gear is ready. Everything's ready to go. I'm ready to go fishing tomorrow if I had to. Boat wouldn't be ready tomorrow. I definitely have some stuff to do to it. I know it's clean. It's impeccable. I like to keep my boat super clean. If you see it in all the videos and the pictures, I'm proud to say that it's a clean-looking boat. And there's a couple of guys in my marina that feel the same way about their boat, because they're always down there and we're always joking about, hey, we got pollen. You get down there and you rinse that layer of green that just rinses right off the deck, and you're like, oh my God. And throughout the summer, there's all kind of, there's ash. When we had those fires that were coming across in the store, it was incredible. And you got ash on your boat. So I do like to run a clean boat. I mean, the head is immaculate. We use that as a storage area, so everything's stored in there. And I can go eat lunch in there. I tell you right now, I'd be happy to eat lunch in there. It is clean as a whistle. And I could even tell you some of the cleaning products. That rust remover at West Marine. If you have any metal that drips down and leaves rust stain on anything and it drives you crazy, that rust remover in the white bottle made by West Marine, it's $15. I got to tell you, you could spray it on, walk away, come back in an hour, and I guarantee you that rust stain will be gone 100%. And it really works. It's great. And I come back, I actually rinse it off. I wipe it down. I do like to keep it clean. That's one of the ways. Magic erasers for me on the floor. I mean, granted, I have an older boat. I have an 03, so it's not like I have to worry about ripping off the clear coat and doing damage. I know those magic erasers are not the greatest things for the exterior of new boats, so I'm not recommending you go do that. I have an older boat where I can get all the scuff marks and anything off the boat where it probably needs to be wet sanded and it comes right off. I bought a new pad at the boat show last year, and it came with a bigger head. However, that head swivels all over the place, and it's a lot harder to control because it swivels everywhere. And it didn't stop swiveling. There was no way to make it stop swiveling. So I'm super happy with the way the Magic Erase, we hit the floor it's immaculate. And that's what I love about it. We love getting back to the dock and hosing the boat down. And, you know, there's nothing better than cleaning your boat and getting that fulfillment that it's actually clean. You didn't spend an hour or a half an hour. I mean, it takes us 20 minutes and the boat's clean. But you get the satisfaction that the boat's clean, like Eric on the Why Not. He comes back, he hooks up the hose to the spray, he foams it down, he rinses it off, and the boat's immaculate. It looks like it just rolled out of the showroom. And I love that about when you clean a boat, that you get that it's 100% clean. That it's not, you have to sit there and work on it. It doesn't look clean. Like I have friends that have, you know, all kinds of floor coverings and different stuff, and the boat's filthy. You get on it, you look at it, it's like, oh my God, there's mold on cushions. You open up the cooler, you would not take a drink out of there. You open up my cooler, and it's immaculate. You know, you'd be happy to, the onboard cooler that you lift up the cushion, and you're going to see there's a cooler with drinks in there that we put ice in every day, and that stuff's fresh. That stuff's not sitting in there. It's empty right now, you know, so it's actually, there's a picture of it on the website. I show everything on the website, the rods, the boat, the seats that I have. We were doing sunset cruises. That was packed. That was a crazy part of the business. That was awesome. And met a lot of cool people, had a lot of fun. So we're going to wrap up episode 19, guys. This was a simple one. Again, unscripted, raw, coming to you live from the studio. We're getting there. It's almost time to fish. We got a couple more fishing shows to hit. And before you know it, April's right around the corner. We're going to be fishing. So here's to you guys. Can't wait to get out there and fish with you. See you out there on the water. And hit me up on social media, whether it be YouTube. Subscribe to that channel. I'm 30 people away from hitting 3K. So if you're one of those 30 people, greatly appreciated. If you want a Bay Rats and Buoys sticker, hit me up. Go to the contact page, fill out the form, and just tell me in the comments you want a sticker, throw your address in there. I'd be happy to mail one out to you. Or if you come into the boat show, I'll still have, this is the actual, that's our first logo. This was the first set of stickers I ordered. I think I had 1,000 of these. There's only like 20 of them left, 25 of them left. We'll have new stickers at the Ward Melville show. So hopefully we'll get some of those in time to give out to you at the Ward Melville show. And I'll see you there, guys. Captain Gaige signing off. Wishing you bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you at the next boat show. Actually, at Ward Melville. See you on March 1st. Thanks for tuning in.